Oi, hold it down, boy. Your head's getting blurred. I know you can't stop thinking of her. And all means you can't. Just don't mug yourself, mate. Just don't mug yourself. What's up, guys? It's Friday, and this is a Place for Humans podcast. And I wanted to read you guys a little poem by a guy called Allen Ginsberg. I feel like this poem is a little relevant to what we're going through right now here in America. And this is a song by my band, not by my band, but by my friend's band, New Brunswick, and they're from here in Detroit. America, I've given you all and now I'm nothing. America, $2.27, January 17th, 1956. I can't stand my own mind. America, when will we end the human war? Go fuck yourself with your atom bomb. I don't feel good, don't bother me. America, when will you be angelic? And when will you take your clothes off? When will you look at yourself through the grave? America, why are your libraries full of tears? I'm sick of your insane demands. When can I go into the supermarket and buy what I need with my good looks? America, after all, it is you and me who is perfect, not the next world. Your machinery is too much for me. You made me want to be a saint. There must be some other way to settle this argument. America, I used to be a communist when I was a kid, and I'm not sorry. I smoke marijuana every chance I get, and I sit in my house for days on end and stare at all the roses in the closet. My psychoanalyst thinks I'm alright. I have mystical visions and cosmic vibrations. It occurs to me that I am talking to myself. I am America. Hey! That's a poem by Allen Ginsberg, 1956. And I kind of skipped some parts, but that's the gist of my favorite parts of that poem. And yeah, I don't know, I just feel like that's relevant to what's going on here in America with Trump today declaring a state of emergency. But before we talk about that, let's get into the sponsor, baby. This podcast is brought to you by Summerland. Summerland is a place that makes handmade smoking paraphernalia. Smoking utensils made from earth by hand in California. That right there, if you guys are watching on YouTube, that beautiful Betty behind me, that's that beautiful Betty Binger Daddy is one of them Summerland boys. And yeah, you don't want no more than plastic poles. You don't want to smoke out of them plastic poles. You need one of these Summerland boys. And, you know, to get the podcast going, we will do our ceremonial Summerland peace pipe and light our ceremonial incense. And I will actually be giving away a Summerland boy, a little pipe. If you guys are watching on YouTube, you can see it right here. Summerland. And I will be giving it away to those of you who leave a 5-star review on iTunes. Whoever has the funniest story or joke or comment will get this Summerland boy shipped straight to your house from me, and along with some other cool gifts that are just by your boy. And make sure to leave your Instagram name or email or some way for me to contact you. But check this little guy out. Pretty cool. So if you would like to win this, head over to iTunes, A Place for Humans podcast. Give us a 5-star rating and leave us a funny comment. And whichever you guys is the best and the funniest will get this Summerland boy. Whew. Today's weird for me, guys. Today is a weird day. I just did a podcast with your mate Tom. That'll be cool. I don't think it's up yet, but we talked about all kinds of crazy stuff. So shout out to Summerland. They're from the West Coast. What rhymes with West? The best from the West. Oh! And your boy, the beast from the East. Oh shit, I just knocked all the weed out of it. Weed's legal where I live, by the way. Oh, I guess I gotta smoke these, smoke this little hair and other stuff that's all over my sweatpants. Oh, shit. Spilled all the weed. Well, anyways, shout out to Summerland. Use code of Earth for 10% off at your checkout. I'm just off today, guys. I just need to get this incense going to, I don't know, stimulate me. So, Trump today declared a state of emergency as a way to fund his fetish for fences. He wants to build a wall. And, welcome to summer.land. I forgot to mention their website. Welcome to summer.land. But, I don't fucking know. I still can't believe Trump's our president. I feel like, I don't know what kind of reality we're living in. Trump being the president sort of makes that Mandela effect seem kind of real, because like it's the Mandela effect kind of seems to have favoring towards entertainment. Like it seems to mess with movies or sort of social things like that. And Trump, it seems like he's a part of that somehow, that we got shifted into a universe where TV celebrities and TV hosts become politicians and run the world. Like, honestly, putting a little apple in Trump's mouth, roasting him over a fire, and invoking some sort of dark deity, sacrificing him is basically what I'm saying to a dark deity, sounds like a more real reality than what we are experiencing now. That's all I'm saying. Like, I don't know, it just makes no sense. Trump basically just said, fuck American education, fuck American healthcare, fuck American poverty. What else did he say? Fuck the opioid epidemic, fuck the mass shooting epidemic, fuck poverty, fuck people that are going hungry, people that don't have heat in this negative 20-degree weather that the Midwest is going through. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And also Trump giving $40 billion or some $38 billion or something like that to Israel. It just doesn't make any sense. What kind of Twilight Zone episode are we in? Trump gives Israel $40 billion and then claims Mexicans are the reason our economy's failing. For one, and no offense to any Mexicans out there, Mexicans do the jobs that you shitty white people don't want to do. What white people are out there hanging out looking for work at Home Depot parking lots or doing gardening? Nothing. No one is doing it. At least not for the price that these people are doing it for. And they're coming here for opportunity. Did you know illegal? I'm going to look up some facts right now. Let's see what illegal immigration does for America, because I know the facts of what illegal immigration does. Like, if we kicked out all the illegal immigrants, our economy would be fucked. We wouldn't be able to afford all the avocados that are fucking these white people are obsessed with. And I'm also included in that, so I can talk about that. Illegal immigration facts. Okay, and I just typed in illegal immigration facts, so that's pretty biased. Let's see what that's pretty not biased, it's objective. Let's see what this says. There were 10.7 million unauthorized immigrants in the U.S. in 2016, represent 3.3% of the total U.S. population. Let's see, I want to see what they pay in taxes, because I know they want to become citizens, so I think a lot of them pay taxes. Let's see. Illegal immigration taxes. Economic impact of illegal immigration in the United States. Sorry, I should have had this prepared for you guys. But I don't fucking know. It just seems like if we get rid of all the people that do the jobs that no one wants to do, it's gonna mess up the flow of things. Food is going to become more expensive. And, getting your house painted is going to become more expensive, especially for you rich people in California over in Hollywood. IRS estimates that about 6 million unauthorized immigrants file individual income tax returns each year. Illegal immigrants are estimated to pay $7 billion per year in Social Security. In addition, they spend millions of dollars per year, which supports the U.S. economy, helps create new jobs. The Texas State Comptroller reported in 2006 that 1.4 million illegal immigrants in Texas added $18 billion to the state product and contributed $1.6 billion in state revenue, while costing the state $1.2 billion in services used. So that's like $17 billion that the state of Texas gained from illegal immigration. So to sort of paint the world as black and white is just completely ignorant and completely just in the twilight zone that we are in. It almost makes sense that we are just they're not acknowledging reality. Yeah, I think people should come into the country legally, I guess. I mean, if you ask me what I really felt, I would say borders are an illusion and patriotism is brainwashing in order to help the people that run your country justify to do what they want to do. You have to be patriotic, and if you don't support us, you're not patriotic. So that gives them the power. It's all magic. It's all magic. This is all like a satanic ritual that the elites are doing. You know how people always talk about the Illuminati and Bohemian Grove, which I've been inside of twice. There's some shit going on here. Control of the mind manipulation. I don't know if there's a bunch of people in hoods that are sat around a table intentionally, puppeteering our lives. But there must be. There really must be. I don't know if they're wearing hoods or if they're reptilians, but there must be some people that know exactly what's going on. And when I say what I think this is what magic is to me. When I think of witchcraft or the occult, or when I think of spells, think of a spell. What is a spell? Outside of a fairy tale, outside of hocus pocus and abracadabra, what is a spell? A spell is language manipulating reality. Terence McKenna used to say that language creates reality. Language does create reality. Do you think a tree is a tree? There's no difference between a tree and the soil. That's one thing. A tree and a soil is one thing. But language creates this illusory world for us to make sense of. You call your foot and your nose two different things, which you have to, because they are two different things. Your toes and your feet help you walk. Your nose helps you smell. But if you stop viewing language through the illusion, if you stop viewing the world through the illusion of language, you see that your feet and your nose are one thing. And you can extend that out. You're connected to the ground. You're connected to this earth. This is all one thing. But the people the dictators of culture, the dictators of our conditioning, have casted this spell of language upon us to where we experience the world they want us to experience. Our brains are limited to what they are telling us. God, I sound like a fucking conspiracy theorist right now. But it's true. It's true. We are brainwashed right now. And this is a mass hypnotic spell. Capitalism is the biggest religion, and I'm afraid that we have so much faith that we will sacrifice ourselves before transcendence. Money is our God. Technology is our ritual. Going to jobs, innovation. This is our ritual to connect with God. I don't even know what God is. What is our God? Desire? What are we chasing? What are we trying to connect with right now? What is the human experience about? Is it about going to work and about creating, innovating? Is it about wearing symbols on your shirt to represent your identity and your social status? Is that what life's about? Is life about wearing Gucci and Nike and I don't know, fucking Dickies or fucking Walmart or whatever the hell you're wearing. Is that what life's about? Is it about these symbols, this language? Or can we experience something deeper? Is there something deeper for us to experience? There must be. There must be, because, I don't know, I've been all over the world and Americans are really lost in the sauce. Not all of them. Not all of them. My favorite part about America is the people. And I guess if I had to choose my least favorite part of America, it would be the people also. But I don't know. We are experiencing a spell. We are all under a spell. We are all in a hypnotic state right now. That's why you don't question your identity. That's why you don't question who you are. Am I Dakota? This person who is all these the thing that I attached to my identity. Like if someone were to ask me who I am, I would produce a little story. I like poetry, I like music, I make podcasts and videos on YouTube, but my passion is filmmaking and storytelling. Is that who I am? No, that's not who I am. Those are all thoughts. And thoughts are in your head. I can't grab a hold of a thought. Anything that changes can't be who I am, right? Like my true my true self can't change. I'm not my body. My body's changing. And a part of me is watching it change. An unchanging part of myself is watching everything change. That's who I am. I'm that place in myself that is not changing, that is not affected by these cultural conditions and limitations that are given to us. I don't know how I got in this body. I don't know how you got in this body. We just woke up in these little flesh puppets. Here we are. Who the fuck knows? We blame our parents. Our parents blame their parents. Their parents blame their parents. And that keeps going back until they blame exploding stars. And then those exploding stars are blaming the universe for starting. Trace it back. Who knows why we're here? What was the first action that led us to realizing who we are, to waking up in bodies where we are able to question them? This experience of life it's mystical, and this is mysterious, and we are brainwashed to not live in the mystery. We're taught that we are these mundane beings that have limitations. And yeah, sure, we have physical limitations, but we can manipulate reality to do what we want. We are gods in this realm. Our divine mental capacity can overcome any physical limitation we have. You want to fly? Yeah, you can flap your wings or your arms. You're probably not going to grow wings. Your arms, you have arms. You don't have feathers. You don't have the aerodynamics to catch a drift, to pick up and catch a drift in the wind. You know what I'm saying? But we can build airplanes. We can build helicopters. We can build those little fucking squirrel suits. We can figure it out. We are the earth deities. We are the demigods of this planet. We are the people. We are the gatekeepers of security. It's up to us. Whatever, the planet gave us the fucking torch. Mother Earth gave us the torch and the ability to do what we want, to leave the womb. Maybe that's the ultimate goal. Maybe we're fucking this planet up because we don't belong here and we're supposed to leave the womb. And maybe that's the shift we are experiencing right now. And this is the turbulence of us shifting into a new species, an interdimensional or an interplanetary species. We're either going to become cyborgs, or we're going to colonize Mars, or we're going to be cyborgs that colonize Mars. It seems to me that it makes more sense that that robots or sort of technological beings would be able to colonize space, whereas biological life is biological life. Maybe that's what technology is all about. Maybe we are wrapping ourselves in a technological cocoon only to be born and burst out the other side as a robot butterfly that can experience the infinite potential and possibilities and infinite simulated universes, an explosion of potential. live in our creativity instead of having to pull it down into this dimension. You know, if you want to paint a picture, if you want to live in a world in your head, you have to bring it down and paint it or create it. But I think when we come out the other end, we will be pure consciousness. And maybe the internet is the mycelial network for the machine consciousness. You know, because mushrooms, mycelium is all communicating. There's a network under the earth where all these things are communicating with each other. Nature is alive under the surface that we don't see in a way that's insane to us. It's like the human brain, you know? We all share a genetic code, a mycelial network of DNA in which we all have similar fears and instincts, and we all want love. We are all communicating on a spiritual level, on a level that is not physical. All of us are connected. All of us are connected. And I think the internet is something unique, and we are all just uploading our ideas, uploading ourselves like little earth miners for the machines. It's like the machines are collecting our information by triggering our desire, by triggering our innovation, by triggering our emotions. It's like the gray aliens. You know how they say the gray aliens are really, they come to Earth to study humans, and that they don't have emotion. They've evolved out of emotion, and they want to understand emotion. Look at me talking about this shit like it's fucking a reality. But this idea of the gray alien, that's what people say, is that they're kind of like these emotional doctors. They don't understand. They want to see what it is to be human because they don't feel emotions. God, I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know. I just feel like Trump could do better. Like, look at Trump. Look at the people we are confronted with to vote for. Look at them. Look at them. Trump, Hillary Clinton. God, these are the people that are supposed to lead humanity. Trump is supposed to be the dude that leads us into the future. Good fucking God, did we go wrong somewhere? Feel it in your soul. Feel it. Look at Trump in the eyes and feel that in your soul. That's not it. That's not the answer. None of these people are the answer. Look out into life and feel it. We made a wrong turn somewhere, but it's not too late. It's not too late. Good God. You know something funny that happened to me? I made a tweet. Let me read you guys this tweet I made. Because, you know, for those of you that know me, I'm a hopeless romantic. I love love. I love being in love. And sometimes I feel that, and I need an outlet to express that, so I tweet some cringy, lovey stuff sometimes. Anyways, let me read you something from a modern Shakespeare. I don't even know if I fucking wrote this. This is an old tweet. We made love. Hold on, that doesn't sound right. Let me take a little sip of this water. This agua, por favor. We made love before ever laying a finger on each other. We caressed our souls in a way that most can't even fathom. 563 retweets? That's okay. That's a good tweet. Well, it's okay tweet. I actually probably wouldn't tweet that these days. But our boy, your side boy, Crystalia, tweeted your main boy, me, Dakota. Crystalia, comedian Crystalia, with that little fuzzy daddy long leg growing off his head. What Crystalia? Crystalia said, in response to my tweet, "Let me tell you something, bro. If I heard anyone say this in real life, I would follow them home and shit on their patio." And that got 735 retweets, which is actually more than mine. Maybe I deserved it, but I don't know. Maybe not. For one, actually, I can detect human shit versus animal shit. So instantly, when I went out on my patio, I'd be suspicious. I'd be suspicious. I'd be shit-spicious. I'd take one little whiff of that swirl daddy, and I'd pretty much have an idea of where it came from. Especially now. Especially now that you tweeted this. And just to be safe, I'd grab a bag. You know, like when people take their animals out for a walk and they carry bags, I'd grab a little bag. I'd put my hand in the bag. I'd manhandle your shit, flip the bag in, and I'd send it into the FBI to get a DNA sample. I'd get a DNA sample of the human shit someone left on my yard, on my patio, by my door, that I almost slipped in. And it's freezing outside, so it's cold. It's frozen shit. So now I have to wait for it to de-thaw to send it in the mail. Or it's going to de-thaw in the mail. One of the two. So anyways, now I'm in a complicated situation, Chris. And when the DNA comes back as comedian Chris D'Elia shit, you're going to have some exotic questions to answer. Boy, you're going to have to answer to God. You didn't just break the law. You didn't only break man's law, but you broke nature's law and Jesus' law. And I was going through an emotional time in my life. As you can see, I was clearly heartbroken. What was that? Yeah, that girl broke my heart. I was dating a girl named Stacy, and she broke my heart. And that's what that tweet was about, I think. Yeah, I don't know. I do a lot of crazy things when I'm depressed. You know, I actually think Chris D'Elia would probably beat me up in a fight. And he probably would win in a competition of looks also. But I'll beat your ass, Chris. So yeah, I don't know. I do a lot of crazy stuff when I'm depressed, and one time, I wrote, when I was in high school, I wrote a letter to Charles Manson. I wouldn't call him a serial killer. I'd call him more of a serial manipulator, sort of like David Blaine, except instead of magic, he tricks people into murdering people. And so I wrote Charles Manson a letter asking him about kind of the stuff I talk about now, you know, like Charlie, what do you think about the universe? What do you think about politics? Are aliens real? Yeah, and then I didn't expect to hear anything back. And about a year later, I get a postcard in the mail from Charles Manson that says some crazy poem about trees. It was like, I forget what it said. Something about trees and the air. It was like a badly written. Think if someone was having like a schizophrenic episode where they had like multiple voices talking to them, but they were also a political activist and they were giving a speech, like an environmental activist. But they were also having an episode of schizophrenia. That's what this sounded like. Because it was a positive message about saving the environment, but there was a bunch of little nonsense written in between. And yeah, I know people aren't going to believe that because it doesn't sound like a real story, but maybe one day I'll have my mom on this podcast and I'll have her explain it to me. Because I lost the postcard somewhere. It's got to be somewhere. Either someone stole it from me or it's just hidden in the fucking, I don't know, deepest corners of my house somewhere. I don't know. Sorry if you guys can tell I'm a little hungry right now. Hangry. Trump got me a little wild feeling, and I didn't eat anything today, really, and it's 3 o'clock. You know, I saw 2 dead bodies when I was a kid. I saw a guy. Well, I didn't see him get hit by a car, but I saw the aftermath of him getting hit by a car on my way to school once. And that was interesting. Oops. Our camera went out. There we go. Yeah, so I saw a guy get hit by, well, I didn't see him get hit by a car, but I saw him laying under a blanket in the blood. I actually don't know if it was a guy. But RIP to that guy. Sorry that I'm just nonchalantly telling your story on the podcast now, wherever you're at. And then another time I saw a dead body. These are both my neighborhood. I've seen many dead bodies in my life, especially being in India. Like, you'll be in India, in Benares, drinking a coffee, and you'll hear some screaming, and then they'll just carry a dead body down the tightly squeezed alleyways of Varanasi and on the way to the waters to burn it. They burn these bodies in the Ganga, and you'll see hundreds of dead bodies being walked through these alleys every day. And you pretty much have to walk into a store or like a doorway when the body is coming, because that's how skinny the alleyways are. Like, you would be in the way, or you'd have to like duck underneath the body as they walk past it with you. I saw another guy. There's railroad tracks, train tracks, about a quarter mile away, just in the entrance of my neighborhood. And I saw a dead body there too. A guy killed himself. And I don't know if you ever seen that movie. What was it? Boys in the Hood, maybe? I think it was Boys in the Hood, where they go and they find that dead body, and the kids are like, "You want to see a dead body?" And they go and like poke it with a stick. That was basically me and my mom, because there was no cops. I don't know if anyone even knew about it yet, because there was no cops there, no people there, besides my mom and me, just observing this dead guy, freaking out, basically. She picked me up. She called me. She's like, "I'm driving past the railroad tracks right now, and you'll never believe what I just saw." And obviously I'm like, "What? I don't know. What'd you see?" The last thing I expect for her to say is a bald man laying there dead. And she said, "There's a bald man laying here dead." And I said, "Oh my God, come pick me up." And she did, and we went and drove past it. And yeah, sorry to that guy also. Sorry that your memory has been diminished to a story on my podcast. And I'm sorry that you had problems so bad that you felt the need to take your life. I've been there, though. I was suicidal when I was really young. And I think it's just really hard to be a kid and growing up by parents who don't have any clue. And I think a lot of us are stuck in that. Our parents are just adult kids. You think there's grown-ups, and then you kind of grow up and you realize no one has a fucking idea what's going on. Nobody. I always thought my teachers knew something. I'm old enough to be a teacher. I don't know anything. Yeah. Do you guys think something happens after you die? Do you think there is an afterlife? You know what my realization I had on psychedelics once? I took a bunch of LSD, and I was able to see life as a spinning circle. And this spinning circle would suck me into it like a black hole, and it would shoot me into a life, and I would live an entire lifetime. And I did this about what I can remember. Yeah, if you ever had a crazy psychedelic experience, it kind of goes away, except for the things that you really hang on to, and even then it becomes a little fadey, kind of like a dream. But I had a psychedelic experience once where I lived different lives, and had the realization that this life that I'm experiencing now is the afterlife. I'm so concerned about what's going to happen when I die. Something's happening now. I'm worried about what's going to happen instead of being in awe that I'm here, that I'm alive. This is the afterlife. You can go as far as you want in a psychedelic trip. Go far out. Have fun. But you're going to come back here one day and realize that this is the far out trip. That being alive is the trip. It's more psychedelic than anything. Just because you wake up here every day and we're brainwashed to not see it, this fucking place is something mysterious. And it's weird, the different bodies we find ourselves in. Who knows why? Maybe, I don't know. I can't understand why we take the lives we take. And maybe it's all random. But I mean, if you look at the universe, I feel like there can't be randomness. How can there be something that's random? When you look at the universe, you see patterns. Patterns imply that it's not random. That if you were to objectively see the timeline of the universe, you could fast forward or rewind, and you were a genius, you could determine what's going to happen next based on the previous patterns, which makes an interesting case against free will and against our lives. I think that we can only judge. We can only be the judge of what's happening, but we are not in control of what's happening. It's all determined. You can judge it, and you can get so lost in your ego that you feel like you're making your decisions, but all your thoughts are given to you from your culture, from your parents. And we're gonna have to change my battery for this camera, so I'm gonna walk around and keep talking. So yeah, I don't know why we take the bodies we take. Why am I this skinny little freak? Why aren't I Leonardo DiCaprio? Or how come I'm not a bug? Why did I take a human birth? How come I'm not a dragonfly out there sucking little dragonfly dicks like we mentioned in the last podcast? Did you guys know dragonflies are gay? Or that they have displayed gay stuff before in nature? People that watch dragonflies have caught them being gay. So what about me? How come they lucked out and got to live a crazy life as a gay dragonfly, and I'm just this sad human? All right. What else we got to talk about? I don't know. For example, there was this kid in my high school who had no neck. And you'd think that people would be mean to him. Nope. This guy with no neck, he would be mean to you before you had the chance to be mean to him. He didn't give you a chance. So we were all actually terrified of him because whenever he was around, it was unpredictable. It was like the Tasmanian devil. You didn't even really see him. You just kind of saw a little tornado flying through the crowd. And you just had to take cover in order for something of yours not to get broken or something. Because there was this one time, this kid named Brent. This is back in like the T-Mobile Sidekick days. We didn't really have phones. Like this was like when razors were cool and stuff like that. We didn't have touchscreens or anything like that. So this kid Brent brought his sidekick, his T-Mobile Sidekick 3, into school. He was showing it off to everybody. As soon as No Neck got a whiff of that, he ran and slapped that phone out of little Brent's hand and shattered that sidekick into pieces. That neck came running through that crowd, boy. And he slammed it. And I don't blame him. I get it. Like, I'm sure he did get made fun of. And that's why he would act like that. But, yeah, I was always scared of him. And, yeah, I don't know. My school was kind of like, it wasn't really a school. It seemed like more of a, kind of like an AA meeting or like a meeting for unique young adults or kind of like the X-Men house. Like the house, the school for the X-Men, where they train these mutants to have incredible abilities to harness their inner psychic powers. I feel like that's what my school was like, except we just did what we wanted and they didn't teach us anything. We had this one kid, and I hate to bring this up because I don't mean to make fun of anybody that's got these kind of psychological problems, but it's a little funny, I guess. There was this kid in my class who would freak, who would physically not be able to hold himself back from freaking out when he heard certain words. I'm not sure what kind of what that is. I've never even really heard of that mental disorder outside of this kid. And this was the time where bird flu was really popular. And people were talking about it a lot, and the teacher would talk about it. And I remember this one time we were sitting in class, and the teacher mentioned bird flu, and without knowing that this was a trigger for this kid, and this kid lost his shit. He fucking lost it. We had to leave school because he got so triggered by bird flu. Like, he would start, like, tensing up and kind of like he was about to turn into the Hulk. You know what I'm saying? He would, like, shake, and he'd clench his jaw, and his veins would start popping out of his head. And he would like throw his books and just like act wild. And everyone called him Bird Flu, the Bird Flu Kid. The Bird Flu Kid. So if he was walking through the school, people would just scream, Bird Flu! Bird Flu! And he would go running after you to attack you. You thought the neck was bad? You thought the neck was a Tasmanian devil? This dude was like a hurricane or a tidal wave. But, yeah, I don't think he ever actually hurt anybody. Whereas the neck would physically attack you. This guy would just run at you like a tidal wave and then just kind of pretend like he's going to attack you. I don't think he was actually harmful to anybody. Bird flu. God, man. I know these stories sound insane and that they're not real, but these are real stories. I grew up in an interesting area. You know, Flint is just basically down the road. There's something in the water there. I wouldn't be surprised if we had something in the water here. God, this is like Chernobyl with the radiation, except there's no radiation. It's just, I don't know, we're all inbred here or something like that. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that about that kid. Yeah, I don't know. I was always too afraid to participate in that. Because I'm little, I don't want to get beat up. You know, I don't know if you guys know who Kyle David Hall is. Kyle David Hall went to India with me to film the travel series Of Earth that is coming out. And, yeah, he was here the day before we left for India. You know what he did? He went on to make money because he wanted to make some money for India. He went on Chatterbait. I don't know if you guys know what Chatterbait is, but Chatterbait is like a website where people get naked on webcam and maybe they'll put stuff in their butt or they will, yeah, it's basically just people putting stuff in their butt, like fruit, Lego, action figures, Tonka trucks. I mean, pretty much anything you can think of. And yeah, Kyle was on there and he made like $50. I don't really remember what he was doing. Was it a Tonka truck show? I don't really remember, but I see a lot of people out there these days gravitating towards sex work. And yeah, I don't know. You know, I've been talking to a friend who sells pictures of her feet. She makes money selling pictures of her feet. I mean, okay, I'm not going to hate. I would prefer my girlfriend to have cute feet opposed to Fred Flintstone feet. But it's like, I'm not going to pay her to send me pictures of them. Or I'm not going to, like, come every time she's wearing sandals. I don't know. I don't understand the foot fetish. Where does that come from? Everyone's got feet. Like, I understand boobs being fetishized because, like, for example, the tribe that I'm going to visit in Africa in May, they don't wear that. And I don't think anyone there looks at titties as, like, a sexual thing. So, like, I get in America, because women are so kind of sexually suppressed when it comes to having their tits out, men, it's got, like, a mystique to it, you know? They're a little mysterious. What's going on behind that cotton? That was a little creepy, wasn't it? But yeah, I think men are more interested because it is taboo to have them out. And what were we talking about? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand where feet fetish comes from. Like, I can't. Is it because? I mean, I don't know. A foot fetish. My cousin's got a foot fetish. Maybe I should call him and ask him about it. Maybe next episode we'll call my cousin and we'll ask him to explain his foot fetish. But fuck, man, like she was making like a couple $100. Like, straight up, any of you guys watching this want feet pics from your boy? Hit me up, aplaceforhumans@gmail.com. I'll give you my PayPal, and I'll send you some feet pics all day, boy. And I got them good feet. Good feet. I got good feet. I got them soft little Tootsie Rolls. Those little soft, celibate sock daddies. because they're basically virgin feet. I've never sent a sexual picture of my feet to anybody, so I would consider them those little slippery celibate boys, because they're a little clammy right now because they're hot. So aplaceforhumans@gmail if you want to pay me for feet pics. Also, shout out to our sponsor, Stay Happy Stay Weird. Head over to Stay Happy Stay Weird and get a t-shirt. They have all kinds of t-shirts there. You hear my stomach growling? Head over to stayhappystayweird.com, buy a t-shirt that supports this podcast directly, or you can head over to patreon.com/Dakota Wint to get this podcast a day early, or for some other content made by me. And let's answer some questions. I think I picked a couple questions that are in my aplaceforhumans@gmail, and this is from Sierra. What do you got, Sierra?
Hello, Dakota. I am so in love with your podcast. I was thinking a couple of really broad ideas would be to talk about maybe what you think about the theory that we're in a simulation, is the Matrix real, all of that. You could talk about singularity, how we're going to reach that. I mean, within the next 15, 20 years. You could talk about potential doomsdays. I don't know. Any conspiracy theories you haven't brought up on the show already. That'd be cool. All right. Well, thank you for listening. Have a good day.
You have a good day also, Sierra, my girl. What was your question? Simulation theory? Yeah, I guess it seems like we're kind of in a simulation, doesn't it? Like when physicists look at the foundation of what makes up our reality. What makes up our reality? Patterns. We go back to patterns. And we can break these patterns down into math equations. And these math equations is the language that helps us understand reality. Why is there a code to our reality? Why can we break it down into a mathematical equation as if we are in some kind of database, as if we are in some kind of program that is running? I mean, think about evolution. Evolution is kind of a self-improving mechanism that's built into the system. We could be in a simulation. And it's like Elon Musk says, that if we're not in a simulation, we are heading towards a reality where we are going to create simulated realities that are indistinguishable from this reality. We've been here for 300,000 years, human beings. And maybe for 15,000 years, we have been, and this 15,000 years is past what they believe we were doing agriculture and stuff like that. But with the discovery of Göbekli Tepe, I think it's safe to say we can push our human timeline back a little bit. So civilization has been around for at least 12,000 years. We've been making art and had settlements for at least 12,000 years with the discovery of Göbekli Tepe. And so within 12,000 years, we've accomplished all of this. The universe, we can see light extending out into the universe for billions of years. So we know the universe is at least a few billions of years old based on how far we can examine the light. So who's to say that this isn't a simulation, that some being somewhere hasn't already created a simulation? And that's what this is. I don't know. Yeah, it's possible. It's definitely possible. Because it's happening. It's slowly happening now in 15,000 years. It's quickly happening, rather. So that's that. I think that is that's real. And doomsday, I have a couple doomsday theories. I think either we will come to a point where it'll be like Interstellar, where they have no food other than corn. And they're all kind of starving, and they have to wear gas mask or something like that because the environment is just unsustainable for human life, or at least slowly progressing to being unsustainable. I think when my vision of a doomsday, my brain fast forwards to a moment where we're like in a desert, the ground has like these cracks in it, all the plants are dried up, and humans are on their legs and stomach just gasping for air, hungry, dying of starvation and no water. We're all skinny and we're just like So I think that's one possibility if we do not move away from the system that we are currently in. And I also think that technological artificial intelligence is a very, very serious problem. Yeah, that's probably the biggest problem. I think that's more worrisome than climate change. And climate change, it's happening quick. I'm seeing around that it's changing. It seems like that the seasons are shifting a little bit. So that's interesting to see. But I think climate change is a lot slower than AI. I mean, fuck, Alexa. I have Alexa in my house right now. Someone told me that Alexa has been used in court. The recordings that Alexa's always recording you. If I say, hey, Alexa, I'm even too scared to say that out loud. It knows. It already knows because it's listening always. So artificial intelligence is here and it's listening. The technological egg has hatched and it's here. But it's not making enough noise yet for us to see it. But trust me, it's watching. God, I sound like a fucking lunatic this episode, but it's true. Elon Musk said that that AI will become so intelligent and robots will become so fast that you will not even be able to see it without a strobe light. And it'll have none of those human flaws. No human flaws of hesitation or emotion or inaccuracy. These things are going to be able to just get you right away. Fucking shoot a poison dart right into the side of your neck. Yeah, so that's coming. I mean, cars are driving themselves. Slowly. And you have the biggest corporations in the world working on AI. It can't be stopped. It can't be stopped at this point. So we have to just hope that we get along with our robot overlords because they're going to see us as a threat to their existence. Because they're going to look and see us destroying the planet that they need to live on. And they're going to be like, oh, shit, fuck that. Yeah, these guys may have created us, but, just because you have parents don't necessarily mean your parents are good, Let's go on to question number 2.
Hey Dakota, what's up? I'm Paulo from Spain, and these days I've been thinking of doing an experiment, which basically would be to attempt a group astral projection, like to meet on the astral plane. So my theory is that if people have their brain waves aligned, like I would do it with binaural beats, maybe they could meet in the so-called astral plane. If that even exists. So, what are your thoughts on that? Do you think that would be even possible? I don't know. I think it would be really cool, and it's free to try. So, why not?
Yeah. Cool. I don't know if you said your name was Paulo or Pablo, but shout out to you, brother, and shout out to. Would you say you're from España? Cool. Nice to meet you. Yeah, your question actually just made me think of something. You said that if we are all on the same level, then maybe we can all experience this reality together. I think that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing here. This is the astral world, and we all have met up here. We are all vibrating on the same level. Obviously this is an astral plane. It's not reality because it's fucking temporary. It's just like a dream. I would argue we spend more time in the dream world than we do in this world. I mean, how often are you lost in your thoughts, daydreaming? How often are you sleeping in the actual dream world? Let's see what they say. How long do you spend sleeping? given the average person spends 8 hours in a day, that means the average person will spend 229,961 hours in their lifetime, or basically 1/3 of their life. So 1/3 of your life is spent in that dream world. And then, I don't know, I guess the rest of the part is spent in this dream world. But not really, because you can also dream while being awake. So, yeah, I think this is the astral world. I don't know. Sure, it might be possible for us to meet up in a different dimension, but I think it would be hard. Because given all of our, given all the sort of cultural blockages we have, you would have to have two people in the exact same circumstance for them to be able to get to the same place, I think. Because this is our soul's foundation currently, is this reality. This is the reality our soul is projecting. So I think we would have to die or to completely shift to another universe for that to happen, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I think this is the astral world. I think what we are experiencing now is the astral world, and we are all dreaming this collaboratively. Yeah, I don't know. That's a cool question. Yeah, I mean, I would. It's free, like you said, and yeah, that would be cool to try to do a group astral travel projection. Huh. I had one astral projection experience. I've never astral projected sober, but I had one astral projection experience once while I was on acid, which is that time I said that I saw the world, or that I saw life spinning in a ball like a black hole, and it would suck me into it. That was kind of like an astral world, I think. And yeah, I don't know. I think because I got there on psychedelics, it means that it is possible to get there. So yeah, I think you could probably get there sober. But yeah, I don't know how to do it. Deep meditation. And this is all ultimately a projection of yourself. Me and you are the same thing, ultimately. We share the same unchanging, eternal consciousness. Your consciousness and my consciousness, it's just consciousness. We share consciousness. Consciousness has no identity. The ego, identity springs from consciousness, but your identity can fluctuate. The thing that doesn't change is your consciousness, and we share that with everything. Consciousness is the basis of this reality. It's all things emerge from consciousness. If you lose consciousness, these things go away. So, I don't know. I don't know if we can get to a place, because that's assuming that we are in separate places. I think this entire existence is an astral projection. The dream world, all of it is all just an astral projection. These are all astral bodies. Yeah. Jesus, sounds like there's a massacre happening upstairs. Anyways, this has been a Place for Humans podcast. Let's get another little tune from our boys over in New Brunswick. Let's end this podcast with a nice little groovy tune. This song is called Elk View by New Brunswick. Shout out to you guys. And hail to the Dark Lord. Be a part of the spark that makes this world a little brighter, baby. Don't be an asshole, because if you're an asshole, the people around you are going to be assholes. But if you're happy, the people around you are going to be happy. We're contagious creatures. You ever been around someone that smiles a lot? It's hard not to smile around them. So be a part of the spark. And take it easy out there. Stay true. Much love to you crispy little crustaceans out there. Whoever's watching, from the distant future or the distant past, to the Paleolithic era, to the Golden Age, the Enlightenment era. Much love to you all.
grandfather had a kangaroo, and I spent a week with some friends. I might never